What is it?
Well, cancer.
Cancer. That's a big one to worry about.
Yeah, just got through cancer surgery.
Yes, good.
And 5 brothers had cancer. My father had cancer, and his brother had cancer. So it's like a gene in our family, and I'm just, that's the only concern I had. Pardon?
It's more than a gene.
Yeah, there are whatever.
Yeah, it's an energy attribute that's stuck in the family line.
Right.
And, we're going to go out of that. And we will. That's one of my biggest passions of working with you.
But the other thing...
Family tipping.
Yeah. Well, the other thing was, I said, okay, what's the lesson in this cancer?
Right.
And what it turned out is that I'm not in control or the maker. And I got to surrender and give up. So give up worry.
Give up worry.
Yeah.
And Pete,
and I'm, just...
Worrying isn't going to solve it.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
And trying to overcome it mentally will not solve it.
No.
At all.
So I had to surrender to it.
You say surrender.
It means
stop trying to control.
Right.
And worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a man, I was always in control. That's where I got my self-esteem, what I produced, and all that stuff, and that's bullshit.
Wound of Adam. I mean,
okay.
I'm a man, and I have to. Yeah. We're going to talk about that soon too. Yeah. I'll give you a free copy.
Well, thank you.
So, okay, and how are you feeling now?
Really good.
Good.
Even today, I was distracted for the last 3 months, as you can see why.
Yes.
But this morning I got up and I just says, hey, you're going to a lovely place, bunch of angels. Align yourself.
Heaven?
No.
Oh, you mean here? Here.
Yeah, bunch of
I thought you were
here.
leaving us today. And you mean, here.
And there's lovely energy here. And
there
just align myself with that energy.
There is.
And get attuned.
Yeah. And it's interesting, no matter how much the mind would try to focus on it and figure it out, and why do I have cancer, and what am I going to do, and what's God trying to tell me, what's the lesson, on all that. You're still in the family energy, and it was a wake-up call for you. It's like you're no longer your family. And these things, whether it's mental illness, physical, they are carried. I talked about that. Why don't we release that? Why aren't we releasing that recording now, Linda?
It stripped it away for a lot of stuff. I can feel it.
Yeah, and it does. And it's like, it just releases it. It's not mine. And at the same time, there's almost a level of being uncomfortable, saying, I let go of my foundations with the family and, carrying on those energetic traditions. Now, who am I? So there's that part, but then you get through it. Good. Thank you, Pete. Yes?
I guess, I know, health.
Health. What about it?
I want it, and for some reason I prefer drama
yeah.
in my creations.
Yeah. And again, why is this? Why the health issue for anyone right now?
Oh boy, just to really live fully.
Yes.
I mean, it's like.
But was there a health issue to begin with?
Why was there one?
Yes.
Well, that's $1 million question.
Just because nature, just because you're living in a physical body, you're going to
I don't know.
Have health issues?
I mean, I've been through cancer 4 times.
Yeah, too many.
So it seems like there's something more to it than just
your
happenstance.
Statistically unfortunate.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. So what is it when there's the health issue? Quite simple. Yeah.
Loving self.
Yeah. Excuse not to live. Could I be very bold and blunt with you?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
3 times I'll ask.
Go
Really?
for it.
Really?
Yeah,
okay,
really.
Good. Attention.
Yeah.
Attention. A lot of attention. Yeah. Don't judge yourself. It's not bad. You've all done it before, but you get a lot of attention that way. Attention that you didn't get before. Attention that you were always giving to others but never received. So suddenly you have a health issue, you get a lot of attention. It's energy, feeding, not malicious feeding, but look what it's doing. And you eventually get the attention from yourself, but what pain and what suffering you have to go through to get there. You don't deserve it. Cancer is generally has to do with hatred, the energies of hate, primarily with self. So you take that on, and it keeps coming back until you love yourself implicitly, unconditionally, and you stop getting attention from all the other people around you. I mean, and attention could come from a doctor, from Shambra, from the people who are going right now. They're going, oh, I feel so bad for her because she's had cancer.
Well, I think part of it is my dad was a doctor and he was a disappeared parent.
Yeah.
And that was my first cancer at 19, I felt was that way of me trying to get him back.
Exactly. Very observant. Very observant. But it's not worth it. It's not. It's hell.
Oh, it is.
It's hell. It's tiring. And you can't really enjoy life when you have that. So with some very good deep breathing, attention for yourself, and disconnect from what you're getting from anyone else. Refuse it. I mean, not that they're consciously offering, but they are offering. Say, no, you're going to get it from yourself. There's this thing called your soul, your divine, your self that wants to give you that love, that attention. You don't need it anywhere else. It's right there. And more than anything, you actually really deserve it. Gone through enough now. Deep breathing. If you have trouble doing breathing, please talk to Andra.
I will.
She'll get you into your body. And it's scary for somebody who's had cancer to get back into your body. Very, very scary thing to do, because the body is theoretically what you think is the thing that's betraying you. How can you trust yourself when your body is betraying you? There's complex issues, but it boils down to get that attention, that love from yourself. And yourself means your spirit, your soul, your divine. That's what really wants to give you the love. Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
And there are an incredible number of questions related to cancer.
Right.
And one in particular is, I'll read this one. We've made virtually no improvements in cancer survivability since Nixon declared war on it in 1971. In some cases, we've actually gone the other way. Would you say that this is one of the ways that we've chosen to provide ourselves with opportunities for ascension and enlightenment? Or without...
Duh.
Without directly endeavoring to cure those with cancer, how can Shambra increase the odds for those with cancer to awaken according to their schedule for doing so? And there are as many questions here about cancer for Shambra as there are for non-Shambra.
Oh, good. Okay. So, Ann, would you mind answering? You're obviously experienced with it, and you have actually better insight than even I do. Cancer, why is it here? What purpose is it serving, and how should you deal with it?
Well, I think she answered her own question there.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't you love that?
It is an experience that can be totally freeing, liberating you from some of your anchors, if you choose it to be.
Yeah.
So it's not a good experience, it's not a bad experience, it's an experience for liberation.
And the worst thing is, what? You die. And you know, seriously, it's easier than being born. And you've done it a lot. And that identity of yours screams out and says, but I can't die. Well, you're going to anyway. But it's an anchor, the run from death. And once you accept that, you're going to die, which you've done over and over and over. And you finally got to the point, it's like, geez, all right, but I'll just live in the meantime. And so the purpose of cancer, energetically, what is cancer?
Just out of balance.
Out of balance, yeah. And I would go so far as to say it usually represents any anger or hatred, which is things being out of balance. So the research being done into cancer right now doesn't address the energetic issues. It's looking into the biological issues, the interplay between cells and enzymes and chemicals. But when they start looking into an energetic interplay, put a bunch of cancer cells together, activate them, and have them fight with each other. Because that's where they came from. Battle, fighting, anger. Observe them. Observe how they interact with each other in their battle, in the little test tube. Feed them. So some will get strong, some will get weak. Some will transmute. Some will try to then recancerize the ones who transmute it. Watch the dynamics through a microscope, energetically, not biologically. You'll learn the answer. Now, the question is consciousness ready for the cancer cure? No, they're actually not. How many years? Any guess on? Just a good guess.
Well, it's just a guess. I like the idea that when enough people let go of their fear and anger, that it will spread like wildfire through mass consciousness.
Yes. And typically I'd say, and you were correct, about 20 years that cancer will still be prevalent. But it doesn't have to be anchored on that. It can change very, very quickly. Right now, if you trend it out, about 20 years. But it could change. It could change by Shambha recognizing where cancer comes from. And recognizing that you can't just call it bad. It does serve a purpose. It gets a lot of people thinking about their life before they die. Unlike battle happens pretty quick. Cancer, they have time to really contemplate the meaning of life. So it's serving a consciousness purpose to an extent. But that being said, aren't there better ways? Absolutely, absolutely. So for Shambha who are dealing with cancer, it tends to be energetically some old residue of anger and hate. And this is very simple. Don't think about it real much. What does it take to transcend cancer? Loving yourself. A choice and loving yourself. You can make a choice, but if you don't love yourself, that cancer is still going to be resident. By the way, every one of you here has cancer. Every one of you, sorry. Every one of you have cancer cells in your body. They're potentials. It may not be activated, may never be activated. Only a small percent of you is it going to be, although you can change that. Those cells are there. They're the shadows of self-doubt, hatred, and anger. And you can either let them come to the surface or you can release them. That's why we're going to be talking about anchor points, letting those go, changing the energy, the patterns, and the dynamics. So if you have cancer, love yourself and accept it, by the way. Stop battling it. You found that out early on. You're not going to win a battle with cancer at all. You're going to fight something that you designed. Now what you can do is love your way through the cancer. Love your way through it. It'll transmute all that stuck energy. And it'll make your whole body shine and you'll enjoy life anyway then. Now, we talked this year about reordering. Reordering means that you are changing the way you are focused or centered into external things around you. Gravity, polarity, duality, electromagnetics, regular magnetics, light and energy being the primary ones. You are connected into all of these things. You've made the choice to get connected into them because those connections with those primary elements allow you to have an experience in the physical reality. They've kept you in this kind of a hologram. They've kept you focused, but they've also kept you limited. Part of the life design. So this last year was about saying you're going to allow yourself to reorient into these various conditions. Why? Because they were changing anyway. Why? Because your consciousness is changing. So it was basically you allowing yourself to readjust into magnetics, gravity, energy, light, earth, air, water, all these things. Ultimately, it had an effect on your DNA. DNA is not what it was a year ago. Tobias asked a number of years ago, somebody to go to be a human guinea pig and get their DNA tested, and then 10 years later get it tested again. Unfortunately, I don't think anybody did. But if you had, even if you had a year ago had your DNA analyzed, had it reanalyzed, it would be markedly different. Be different than what it is right now. It's happening, not to many humans, but it's happening because you're allowing it to. Now, in the reordering process, you change the way you're focused into or adjusted on things. It's like taking a beam of light and changing the focus, the intensity, the amount of energy needed to drive that light, where the light hits, how big the light hits. So you've changed your focus or your orientation. You did it with actually a minimal amount of what you would call side effect. Getting ill, going crazy, having things happen to your body, rashes and other ailments. Many of you have gone to the doctor with the old "what's wrong with me" ticket. The doctor said, "We can't find anything. We can't find anything." Or they just thought, "Yeah, we'll give them something here. Here's some medications for you." What's up here? I thought that was good. There's nothing wrong with you physically. So you've gone through a lot of changes, gotten through it pretty gracefully. Now we go to the next level this next year. On to the next big question that I'm getting from Shambra these days. The big one, should I stay or should I leave? Isn't that a song? Could you play that? Should I stay or should I leave? Yeah. So, big question. And you're asking me, like I'm going to answer that for you. And then you negotiate. You want a little advice. Well, tell me. But the real big question within the question is, why should I stay? Why should I stay? And then you want to know all the facts and figures. Well, what's it like when you cross over? Will it hurt? That's always the first question. Will it hurt? What is it like on the other side? Am I going to be happy? Am I going to see all my relatives? Well, if you're going to be happy, you probably won't see all your relatives. I have to say, my dear friends, that there are this whole issue. I'm going to get into it a little deeper in just a moment, but this whole issue, you've done amazingly well when you say, "How am I doing?" Because you've learned that your biological family is not the boxing ring anymore. You've learned that they birthed you, they took a responsibility, you had a history with them, a lot of love, a lot of sharing, but you're letting go of the what I would call the more negative aspect, the old karma, the old junk, the junk that wants you to be part of perpetuating this ancestral imbalance. A lot of times it's been going on for generations and generations and generations, and after a while, even on a spirit level, they don't even remember where it started. This craziness. One person in the family background doing something very off balance. They forget, and they just keep acting it out. So you're letting go of that. You're learning that your family they're other human beings to be honored, to have compassion for, but you're not locked into them anymore. That's a big, 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 big accomplishment. Now, of course, there are those that would say that I am anti-family. In a way, yes. In a way, because it creates some of the biggest karmic, biological, and mental imbalance issues. If you're floating in that family karma river and just going along with it, absolutely. I won't go into all that right now, but good. Where is it affecting, with this energy, all these changes, where is it affecting in your mind or your thoughts? Your mind or thoughts. What's happening right now in the mind and thoughts? Yes.
My mind goes crazy.
Yes. Why?
It
Why?
worries.
Why?
It's trying to keep me safe because
Really?
if I let go of that program, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yes. Have you ever tried just to see?
Moments, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long of a moment?
A few moments here and there.
And what happened?
It's nice and quiet.
Yes. But this is good, and I'm not trying to laser in on you, but you speak for many people. Why? the worry, could we call it slight obsession? Good.
Probably
Slight
more than
obsession.
slight. Yeah.
Yes, very slight, tiny, almost couldn't even spell it. The worrying, the fear, it's just mental chatter. And if it wasn't that, you'd be doing crossword puzzles obsessively. It's occupying the mind. Why? What benefit are you deriving from it? Stop smiling, Mark. What benefit are you deriving from it?
None.
Yeah, none. Then you wouldn't be doing it.
Well, I think in some way, I think it keeps me safe from moving into something
You
different.
think, but what really? Just let's do common sense here. What benefit is being derived? Because every one of you who has any sort of thing right now that's going on, I don't care if it's a financial thing, a health thing, a slight obsession thing, I don't care what it is. But you are deriving some benefit from it. Otherwise, you would have let go of it a long time ago. It serves you somehow. Every one of you, look at yourselves for a moment. Whatever that is, you are deriving a benefit. It is serving you. And therefore, all is well in all of your damn creation because it is serving you. It's doing something. You're loving it. Otherwise, you would have left it. So, how is it serving you to have this?
It's a distraction.
It's a distraction, absolutely. But distracting from what?
From me.
So do you think maybe if you took that pause and stopped the mind chatter, and that's really all it is a huge distraction, and it could be in the form of, as I said, doing crossword puzzles all the time or worrying about things. What would happen then? You would have to face...
Myself.
Good. Now, what would be the biggest fear about facing yourself?
I wouldn't like me.
I like you. Why wouldn't you like you?
I don't know. I'm assuming I've done lots of bad
Oh,
stuff.
you have, but remember last month? That wasn't me.
That's right.
I had nothing to do with you. It's not. It's really, I can prove it scientifically that it was not you. Mathematically, scientifically, spiritually, philosophically. It was not you. You get a fresh start. So now, what is there to fear? I'll tell you.
Okay, thank you.
Right when you were on the verge. That there's nothing there.
I was going to say nothing.
An empty suit. Yeah. What have you got to lose by trying?
Falling into nothingness, into a void.
It's going to happen sooner or later. If you die and there's really nothing, you're going to fall into that. So why not find out now? So you can enjoy the rest of your life. When you discover that there really is something there, and it's not what you thought it was. That's the best part, and the toughest part. What's there is not what you have ever thought it was. Nothing like it at all. So give it a try, really. Now, your mind's going to still want to stay occupied doing something because it's used to cranking out energy and solving problems and that. But it could be channeled, keyword, into something more productive. There's no reason to worry. And I'm talking to all of you. I look sometimes at your lives and how much is occupied any given day on just worrying about something. Things that are not going to happen. Haven't you figured that out by now? What you worry about generally never happens. It's a spiritual law. Yeah. Good.
But I'm afraid that what if I stop worrying and then that's the time it happens?
Then
I'm serious.
I would say to you as a Professor Adamus, go for the experience. Really, go for the experience, everything falling apart. Or has it already?
I've done that.
Yeah. So all that worrying blew everything apart, and you're still here. You haven't disappeared. Maybe there's something new to discover. Yeah. I'm going to challenge you, and we're going to have you up here next month. You are coming back, aren't you?
Maybe.
I mean, after the end of the world, of course.
If we're here.
Yes. You know how many people have worried about the end of the world, build bomb shelters underground, and done all sorts of other crazy things? And, December 22nd is going to be a dark day for them. a sad day. Why? Because they're going to say, I got it wrong again. I even got the end of the frickin' world wrong. I screwed up once again. So, between now and next month, don't worry about anything. Sure, I mean, you think, oh, I don't know if I can do that. Sure you can, just choose not to. What do you do when worry starts coming over you?
Sometimes I stop and I take a deep breath.
Yeah,
and
sometimes.
And I say to myself, this too shall pass.
Yeah, there's two, it wasn't you. Not only will pass, but that wasn't you. All the fears, all the worries are brought up by remembrances of things from the past, which are now irrelevant because we're going into a new energy, you see. So it really wasn't you. So when the worry comes up, you take a deep breath and kiss it, just like Edith and I kissed before. Embrace it. Never lived that one down. Embrace it. Dive into it. Dive into it. You have nothing to worry about. Instead of letting it chase you around the block and through your dreams, dive into it. See what happens. It's just energy. You'll find out that the worry really is just a facade. Yeah. Stop. That worry is just chasing you down the street, right in your tail. Just turn around and face it and see what happens. Don't battle it, though. Go into it.
What's the difference?
Battling is you're becoming adversarial. You're trying to overcome it or overwhelm it. Like there's a fight, and there's really not. Just go into it. Walk right into it. Like, just walk right into it. And just try it.
I will.
Yeah, you probably will. Once.
I will.
So for a whole month, and then next month, please, tell everybody how magnificent you feel, how gorgeous you look, how at peace you are, and now you don't know what to do with all this extra energy. Yes.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Edith wants to talk about, yes. Linda's coming with a microphone so the whole world can hear you.
Uh-oh. What? Pardon me. What if you have not been worrying and I have not been worrying and I've grown a cancerous tumor in my
Yes.
right breast?
Yes.
And I don't like that. Why did I do that?
I'll let you answer the question if you stand up. Why? That's a really good question because here we are, spiritual beings, and suddenly, boom, cancer. What's that about?
I don't know. That's why I ask you.
You do know.
Well, it's stupid. That's all I know.
Yeah? Is it going to stop you, Edith?
No.
Good. And what are you going to do?
Well, that's what I'm having a hard time deciding.
Yes?
Whether to get a lumpectomy or have the whole breast cut off.
It doesn't really matter. That's not part of it. What are you going to do?
Well, I'm just going to keep doing what I do.
Good. And
Yeah.
choosing life.
Yes. And breathing.
And breathing.
Yes.
And like Gail said before, don't go along with this concept that your body is going to be vulnerable to disease. Now, all of you've carried around a lot of energies that sooner or later are going to show up in a disease if you don't release it beforehand, if you cling on to it, clenching your jaw with it. There is cancer and other diseases in every one of your bodies right now, not to make you worried or anything, but there is. But it's just energy. And you don't have to go along with it anymore at all.
I would
Every one of
like
you.
it to just be gone. I've been trying to release it, and my friend in Canada sent me some little sayings to say from the angels, and uh-oh.
Really? Really?
Yes,
You need it
really?
from a Canadian?
You've been hanging out with the humans too long. You're turning into a bigot.
No, I'm a consummate entertainer.
Yes, you
To
are.
keep you all alive. So, really, that somebody really these little sayings from angelic beings, and you're repeating them.
I'm not going to tell you. You'll make fun of me.
I will never make fun of you today. Edith and all the rest of you, really? Really? How about just choosing health? How about getting out of your minds? Because the moment you start reading little things from angelic beings, I don't care how many times they tell you it was passed around the world and saved how many millions of people, which is not true anyway. The minute you are putting your power into something like that, your body is saying exactly what I just said. Really? Okay, I'll step back. Really? I have everything you need built in right here to heal myself. Your body is saying, I know how to bring in energy. I know how to rebalance. I know how to eliminate energies that really don't serve my biology anymore. But really, if you want to read little quotes from angels that the frickin' angels never said in the first place, okay, you have at it. You have at it. And we'll stop self-healing. We'll stop bringing in the energy, and we'll just let you go through your experience.
No, I don't want to. I appreciate your reminder, and I know you're totally correct.
Not totally.
But I have been doing those things too. And
how about taking a deep breath and saying, dear body, I command you to serve me.
I did
in
that.
health, in living. Dear, any old energies that are here, aspects or whatever, I divorce you. You are not me. I'm off on a new trail. What happened yesterday is you. I am that I am.
I guess
It's as simple as that.
Need to
It's
love
as simple as
myself a little
that.
more.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
okay.
Yes. You can heal yourself.
I want to.
Yes.
Okay.
No, you're going to.
Okay.
You have to.
Yes, I do.
I have to report to my Ascended Masters Club, and they're keeping track of you, Edith.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank
I'm
you.
your coach.
Thank you very much. You're my excellent coach.
And the best thing, keep it simple. Don't distract yourself with, we're going to talk about this in just a minute, where you are getting stuck right now, but don't distract yourself with anything that comes from outside of you. There is no holy water. There isn't.
No.
There is not. Yes, there are some things that have a little bit of a value in getting you out of fear and off of dead center. But at a certain point, some of those things, the sacred waters, whatever it happens to be, Egyptian healing rods, Calder is telling me, these type of things are ultimately a greater distraction than the small amount of healing that they ever do. It is you that are doing it.
Right, yeah. My
That's
sister sent me a book full of alternative healing that's been driving me nuts.
Yes. And alternative healing will have a radio show with Dr. Doug and Linda about alternative healing. There's some of it that is very good if you are the one basically prescribing it for yourself, if you are the one, because there are things, water does help, but not water bought by somebody that's charging $25 a liter and telling you it was blessed by some guru that doesn't even exist. That is a trick.
Well, these are chemical things. Like one thing's called protosalin. It's made from herbs. And
Yeah. But let's all of us, on the biological thing, which we're going to be getting into in a few months, let's start with what you already have, without anything from the outside. And no, it doesn't mean getting off of medications you're on now, but we'll start getting away from those. We'll get the body back into the healing.
Oh, Adamus, this is for entertainment value only. It's not medical advice.
Well, it's really good medical advice. If doctors would listen, they would learn something. It's advice for those in the medical profession.
all right. If this is not appropriate, you don't need to bother with it. But my dear son is diabetic, and he's had it since he's 12, and he's 47.
Yes.
And we have a lot of Makio drama at our house, which I wish it could go away.
Right.
And I just wondered if you had any wonderful, brilliant suggestions to kind of help our household to be
Nope.
okay.
No, because I'm not talking about your household. I'm talking about Edith today, and I'm talking about each one of you individually. I'm not talking about your children.
No.
I'm not talking about even your dogs. I'm not talking about your parents or anybody else. What I'm talking about today is for you.
Right. Well,
and
it
only
does
for
kind
you.
of hurt my heart. So
Oh, absolutely. Understandably. And if we to summarize it, there's just an issue that he has about accepting love into his life. And we're still talking, accepting love into his life. But I want you, Edith, and I'm going to look you straight in the eye. I want you to work on Edith. I want you to allow for Edith, not for your son. You understand that?
Yes,
Okay.
I understand.
And I want you to allow for you. I want you to be the master. Stop worrying about the others. How old's your son?
47.
You're 40 years too late on this whole program, but you should have let go a long time ago. Does that make sense?
Oh, I should have let go, or he should let go of what?
How old is he?
47. Well, he stays at home because he'd be dead if he didn't, because he goes into insulin shock, and if there's no one there to get him out of it or call for help, that's
an interesting,
why he's
interesting
still in my
game,
home.
isn't it? Yeah. I want you to take care of you.
Well, I do. Mostly.
Marcio.
I thought I did.
Edith, take care of you.
Okay,
Watch then what happens with him.
okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, I send him.
No, just yes or no.
Okay, thank
No,
you.
yes or no, not okay. Okay is bullshit. Yes or no. Does that make sense? Take care of Edith.
Yes,
Can you do that?
yes, I can.
You kind of.
Well, there's
Come on,
another-
Edith. Can you take care of Edith?
I
Can
can.
you
I
take-
think I need to do it better. There's another person too that I think they
Edith,
like to.
Edith, turn her microphone
Okay.
off.
Oh.
Edith, it's simple. It's either yes or no. There's nothing else. No, you keep talking. It's yes or no. Edith, you're still talking. You don't even have a microphone. Edith, yes or no. Yes. Thank you. Stop right there. Good. Thank you. Okay. Take care of Edith. Watch then what happens with your son. Don't answer me, but there's a dynamic going on because Edith isn't taking care of herself. There's a weird dynamic, energy dynamic going on. You said it yourself, a lot of Macchio in the house. It's right there, that house. Love yourself, Edith. Suddenly find out what a difference that makes in your son. He's been taking on a lot of your stuff. He's kind of like, well, not like a dog, but kind of like taking on your stuff. So no more. Take care of Edith. You have to think about it.
I thought it was yes or no.
Yeah, just taking on a lot of Edith not loving herself. Whoa. Whew. Okay, one more.